Hey guys, Viggoman here and welcome back to another video. Today I have a tour planned for you of this beautiful monastery called Cradlewater Monastery. This monastery here is built just up north of the city here, Osterham. So if you haven't seen this, first of all, where have you been? Secondly, check out the 30 other videos where we build this beautiful city here. But today's video is about this monastery stream here, and it's built on top of the stream and where it kind of originates, and it's a big part of the monastery itself. Today we're going to take a detailed tour of everything. Probably won't be able to check out every single room and every single crook here, but if you want to check it out for yourself, hop on the server. Information is down below and you can fly around here for hours if you want to. So let's just get started. The first thing that greets you once you get to the monastery here is of course the skyline, which is quite cool, but there's a small gate here which welcomes you into a little garden. This garden here is very open, nothing fancy happening here, but we have a stable for all the horses of the visitors, but also stables used for running the monastery here. From here we can get to the dungeons, or not dungeons, but the cellars, I guess, and also the crypts and stuff from here, which is all intertwined and stuff, but also run over here and get to the gatehouse, which is up here. Here we have a small gate which leads into this place. So the way I'm going to do this tour is by walking around a little bit and just checking out stuff. I'm just going to sit back, relax, and embrace myself in the building I've done. And I want you to do the same. Just sit back and enjoy this little tour here as we just explore this place. So we come in here. There's a small yard here. It kind of splits into two. One moves over to this side and the other one moves over to this side here as well, and this is kind of the gem or the centerpiece of the monastery down here. I love the view from here once you enter or come through this gate here. I like it a lot. Here we have like a little garden in the middle, and it's just a peaceful place, I think. Like some benches and areas to sit and stuff, and just the view up there at the tower is, in my opinion, one of the best pieces of this build here. So this big building here, I think we will start with this one just because it's massive. This is the temple itself. This would be used mostly for big holidays in the kingdom here. So this won't be used like daily or every week, but maybe like 2-3 times a year. Everyone would be coming from the kingdom and gathered here. One thing I've done with this build is I have a lot of these coverings here alongside the building, so you can kind of walk between parts of the monastery without getting wet if it's raining. Anyway, let's check out the interior of the temple here. It's quite big, it's grand. Look at the ceiling in here, and the big stained window up there. It's heavily inspired by Gothic cathedrals, so you might see that. So just walking alongside here, you come into the center, and here it just opens up. It's so tall in here, and of course we have the statue, which is, as we always have for the temples in Gelia. There's the goddess, which is their biggest deity, I guess. So yeah, we have a statue there. Let me take a quick sip of drink here. My throat is getting really dry while talking for such a long time. On the other side here we have, like, is it called a mezzanine or just a balcony here? This is for nobles and the royals and stuff, so they could get a better look of the ceremonies that would be going on here. And in the back we have the offering area. This is where you would offer coins, you would offer, or maybe just light a candle, offer some expensive oils, flowers, and that sort of stuff, just kind of showing respect. Yeah, so from here we have like some back rooms. From here we can get to a door which leads to a small staircase, and this leads up, and from here let's just run around. It's a little dark, but you get on top of here one of the balconies here, and from here there is a super a steep staircase which leads up to the top parts. So as you can see here, we go around here. There's a ladder, and eventually you make your way to the top here, which has a frightening view. Oh, yep. Yeah, so from here we get a great view over the centerpiece here, and you can really see the patterns on the ground here, which is cool. So yeah, on top of the tower here. From here there's a staircase which leads all the way up like this, and we get to the top, and this is, as you probably can see, heavily inspired by the main temple of Osterham, which also have these quadruple spires on the top. And I think it looks really, really cool. Now, let's move back down here. Adjacent to the temple, we have this little building here. And this building, just right next to it, is for preparing the ceremonies and kind of tidying up and decorating and stuff inside the temple. So, this building over here has like, yeah, some archives. You can kind of write notes and stuff. Here we have candles, so I'm sure they would have to make sure that they're big enough to burn for a whole ceremony. Maybe change them for some new ones and things. We have some carpets for just on the floor, or we can even hang them on the walls for decoration and things. So that's kind of cool. And upstairs we have a little area where someone is working on a carpet as well. Some storage and all that sort of stuff. This thing here leads to a small backyard on the opposite side as well, over here, which of course is connected with these coverings here, so that the monks staying here can move between this building, which is their residence. This is where they stay most of the time. And this is like bedrooms and stuff. We're going to check that out in a little bit. And between there and then the temple and the preparation house and stuff. And then on top of here we have this cool little statue. So yeah, I like this little connection bit here. Before we kind of move on, since we're kind of in the facility here, let's go back into the temple and go down this staircase here. We moved up previously, but now let's go down and we'll get to the cellars. And this is where we have the graves of the monks. And I wanted to portray it being like built over time. So this is like the first edition. It's small, it's very small. And this is where the common monks would be buried, I think. And as we kind of move on, it opens up, it gets bigger, and then we'll have bigger graves for the monk leaders, the highest monk, which I will show you in a little bit. This room here was built to prepare the bodies before burying them. So we have this big stone table here where they would probably mummify them and stuff like that. And then in the back we have some more burial sites, and yeah, this is like linen and things they would wrap their bodies in. So yeah, here we get to the bigger crypts, I guess. This is for the high priests or the leader monks, and here they have like big crypts for themselves. And the idea here, the lore behind this, is that the high priest or the leader would design their own grave. So as you can see, they're quite different, all of them, and that is like a way of portraying how the monk, the leader, felt about himself, or how they wanted to be remembered as. So you can see like this one is really flashy, and this one is more subtle, I think. And this one over here is like the subtlest of all. But to kind of counter that, the opposite wall here has a statue, and this is made by the monks after the death of the leader, and this is a way of portraying the leaders, how they were perceived by the other monks. So like you would have they would kind of decide how they wanted to be remembered, and then the other monks would show how they perceived them or wanted to remember them. And I think it's kind of funny how this flashiest, biggest, most golden grave is a small fat statue. So little fun Easter egg there. Here we actually have the grave of the founder of the temple, and or the monastery, and it's quite big. And the idea is they probably move the body down to this place eventually, because the crypts were built out later than the foundation of the monastery, so they probably built this later on. And if you can see where this is inspired by, or if you have seen the Harry Potter movies, me and my wife are watching them now towards Christmas, and this is inspired by the room that Harry meets Voldemort for the first time. I don't know, I think I just kind of was inspired by that room, wanted to recreate it somehow, but of course change it a little bit. But yeah, you might see some resemblance here. Since we're already down here, let's move to the opposite side of this room here and go up this little hallway here, and we'll, there we go. We get to this little room here, and this leads outside to this place. Kinda cool. From here we can also go into the brewery, where we have all the beer being stored in barrels, so aging it. In the previous video I mentioned this, that the beer from Cradlewater Monastery is considered to be the finest of all the lands, so they would have a lot of storage for beer. Since we're talking about beer, let's check out the brewery, shall we? So over here we have the brewery on this side here, built on this angle. We have a oak tree here, big oak tree, and yeah, this crosses a little bit of water here, which is cool. It wraps around here, and you'll see why in a little bit. First of all, I want to show you this. This is, if you visited this place here, you might see a lot of the monks just kind of walking by here. They would stop, look through the window, and 50% of the time they would continue on towards whatever they're doing, and the other time they would turn around, go in here, and meet their friends in the beer tasting room. This room here is all about enjoying precious beer. So this room here is whenever they have a new batch ready, they sit down here and taste it. So a lot of the monks always go by here. That's why there's a big window here. They could stop and take a look. Okay, yes, there's some new beer going on here. So they come in here, sit down for a little while, and then move on with their tasks. In here in the brewery itself, we have some big barrels for fermentation. And then here we have a boiler, which is where we kind of boil the wort and make or prepare the beer for fermentation. Upstairs we have like a pulley system here to bring barrels up here for aging, and probably like refining and stuff up here as well, which is cool. Oh, there's a closed zone, we can remove that. And then over here we can see where the water comes from. Here we have like a water basin, I think, and this comes from the creek over here. And then we have this system here which brings the water up and then into the barrels, and they move it over to the boiler here, which is kind of cool. So one thing I want to point out, since we're here, let's move on to the this building over here. And this is built on top of this water creek here, and these holes here are built because up above there's actually some toilets or garderobes, and the droppings go straight down into the water and flow down here, and there's actually more of them over here as well. And in the front here we even have a washing area. This is where they wash themselves in this tub, and they wash their clothes. You can go down here and wash them in the water, and dry them and wash them and stuff in the back here. But you might be wondering, like, would they make beer and stuff from water that just got from the garderobe here? Wouldn't that be very unsanitary? And yes, in modern day we would consider that very, very weird. But consider they didn't really know too much about like sanitation, especially like germs and things. I would assume they try to stay away from poop, but yeah, I don't think they would consider it a big problem. But also, yeah, Abbey beer, cluster style beer, is often very strong, so that would probably kill off any kind of germs that the water would contain. And they also boil it in here, in the big boiler, so that would also kill off a lot of the germs. And again, the ground is pebbles, and running water is pretty much considered safe a lot of places, so I don't think it would be a big problem. Maybe that's why the beer is so good, because of the minerals the water contains, who knows. So the water just runs straight from the poop over here into the brewery, and who knows, maybe that's the key behind it. In the first floor here we have a small workshop where they work with textiles. This is where they make their robes, but also curtains and carpets and decorational things in textiles. And as I showed you, it's also where they do the washing of clothes and themselves in the back here. So here we have like a water stream coming from, as I said, the mountains up here. And this is the cradle or the origins of the water source of Osterham. Upstairs we have a small staircase here. This goes into here, where we have bedrooms for all of the monks. And there's some kind of hierarchy here, like we have the new monks and they might have a leader. So behind here we have like a bigger room for one of the leaders, which has its own big bed and even a small wardrobe in the back here, like that. Yeah, so we have that. And then all the way on the opposite side of the room we have the garderobe. So this is where they would sit, and as I showed you, it goes straight into the water stream down below. So very convenient for them, maybe not so sanitary for the brewers. And yeah, pretty much all the different rooms up above are for living or sleeping. So here we have more beds, and we even have another garderobe over here connected to this bedroom here. And upstairs we have some more bedrooms, but also like living rooms. Here we have more bedrooms. One thing you'll see as well is we have a lot of these tables and study areas for the monks to sit down and read and write stuff. And more sitting area, storage, and yeah, I believe the attic is full of stuff as well, like that. Yeah, let's show you these small rooms here as well. There's one more bedroom in here, tons of beds, and then on the opposite side of the house here, on this side. Very cool. All right, oh, I'm stuck. Let's move down here and let's move over to another part of the monastery. Yeah, first of all, let's just check out this little park, or yeah, chill out area in the back, which I'm pretty sure is what they called it, a chill out area. Some tables and some nice birches here. I want to check out the kitchen next, I think, which is this building here. This is the kitchen and one of the smaller feast halls. Excuse me, just had another sip. So in the first floor here we have the kitchen, which is very cozy. It's quite big, and I'm using the Victory mod here to get even more details when it comes to the decor in here. So I like this a lot. Very cozy. Above this, in these rooms above here, we have the feast hall. So we have a staircase which goes around here. And then here we have a small feast hall, which would be used by most of the monks in special occasions. And we even have a small fireplace here in the back. And then up above, we have storage, just like that. Pretty cool. Now I think I want to show you the library. Alright, so this building here in the back is the library. It's also one of the bigger buildings, and one of my favorite parts of this place. I love the big window in the back, and also this buttresses on the sides here and the big windows. I think it's really cool, but interior is definitely my favorite part about this. So if we go in here, you'll see this beautiful interior. It's very tall, the ceilings are very tall, and we have these massive arches and then the wooden framing in between them, which is cool. We also have a lot of book shelves like this all over the place, which yeah, for where with a small like desk on the back they could sit and read. So yeah, it's a small little detail I really like, where they can sit here and just read the books, and yeah, it would be a nice peaceful place. And then of course we have a massive fireplace in the back here, which is really cool. From here we can get to like the back rooms of the library. I'm pretty sure I won't show you all of this because it's just like a lot of small storage rooms. So come on the server if you want to see it for yourself. But in the back here we have bedrooms for the people that are solely working in the library here, for like maintaining it, sorting the books, and yeah, keeping track of the archive in the back here. And this is like where they make some food and eat, and up above we have some storage and stuff. Yeah, so that's like their part. But from here we can go back outside again, and we get to like the first bit you enter. Yeah, one thing I want to point out is all these small statues we have all over the place. We have one here, we have one over here as well, and one up on the side of the corner here, which is cool. I think I showed you the one in the middle here, and there's probably more. I think there's one even in the front here. Yeah, there's a small like sitting, meditating kind of super simple design, but I think it works. So there's a lot of these statues and small details around here, so definitely something that's worth checking out on your own if you want to. Over here we have the bakery, and yeah, quite big. We have storage and a lot of areas to work and making bread and stuff. A big oven in the back as well. And here we have a trolley that is probably moving some bread over to the kitchen. I like that. Around here we have a small garden, and then we have the first line of defense, I guess. We have some arrow slits that leads to the ramp up towards the gate here, so you can shoot at the people coming by if anyone is attacking them, and also some arrow slits into the gate itself, so they could shoot at them in there. And then I think the final thing, no, there's two more things. We need to check out the tower as well. But here we have the workshop area, and this is a combined blacksmith, so we have a big forge here in the back. And then we have a carpentry and woodworking area in this corner here, with a little storage on top. And then outside we have a cart bringing a lot of new wood for the carpentry area. That's kind of cool. I really like the way this building here is built on diagonal. If you know me, you know I like adding my diagonal buildings into things just because the way it makes the overall building look. And I think it really works here, and especially like with a little bit of a corner or L shape to it, it looks really, really cool. So yeah, let me know down below what you think of everything really, guys, but especially the diagonal here. That's always super tricky. Now let's move over to the bell tower here, and this tower is super tall and the bell is super big, and the idea is that everyone in Osterham, but also further away, would hear the bell for the holidays. So we can get to this place by just going into this door here, and then it's just like a big spiral staircase which goes around and around and around, whoops, and around and around and around and around and around until we get to a small level here, which is just like, it has some windows and there's a small telescope, so you could set it up here and look at the people coming towards the temple here, just kind of keeping an eye on everything. And then we can continue up around and around and around and around again, and we get to a small door which takes us out to this balcony which just wraps around the building here. I think it's super cool, a small like lookout area like that. It just wraps around the tower, and it continues further up like this, and then we get to a small, it's even further than I remembered, the ladder here, which takes us up to the massive bell and the top of the bell tower. And the view from here is absolutely stunning. Look at that. It's so cool. So there's a big golden bell, and it would sound over everything here. It's It's really cool. And that, my friends, is probably everything about this build here. As I've said, there might be some rooms and stuff we have missed, but you can come on the server anytime and just fly around and check it out for yourself. There's even a warp directly for the monastery, but you could also go to Osterham and just walk towards this place and check out everything on your way towards this. Also, if you want your own Minecraft server, there's a link down below. And a discount code to Skynode, so you can get your own Minecraft server a little bit cheaper with my discount code. It's the ones that are hosting my server, so yeah, just so you know. So if you want that, check out the links and stuff down below. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed. If so, make sure to smack that like button, and if you haven't done it already, make sure to subscribe. It's been Viggoman, and I'm out.